Bangalore is a serious soldier with a hidden soft side. Despite her being quite cold on the battlefield, showing little emotion, there's enough backstory to tell quite a detailed story about Bangalore's past. So let's take a look at who Bangalore is and what potential there is for lore-based content for Bangalore in the future. Let's start with Bangalore's full description. Bangalore's full name is Anita Williams. She is 35 years old and comes from a planet called Gridiron, which is somewhere we've heard reference to in the past. Gridiron is a planet in the frontier. It's essentially an IMC planet that's been built to be heavily fortified. With Bangalore being born on such a military-focused planet, it should come as no surprise that Bangalore was born into a military family. This meant military training started at a young age, so she learned a lot, especially about how to use weapons. And yes, she's a skilled fighter, but perhaps not without sacrifice to her childhood. Here's a paragraph from the EA Games website which explains Bangalore's childhood. Born into a military family where she, her parents and her 4 older brothers all served in the IMC armed forces, Bangalore has been an exceptional soldier since she was young. She was top of her class at the IMC Military Academy and the only cadet who could take apart a peacekeeper, equip it with a precision choke hop-up and put it back together in under 20 seconds, blindfolded. Later, Bangalore and her brother were set to take on a task to retrieve a military fleet from the Outlands to aid in the fight against the militia. Here's what the full description said. 3 years ago, Anita and her brother Jackson were ordered to retrieve a mercenary fleet from the Outlands to aid in the IMC's fight against the militia. However, the unit lost contact with IMC HQ and were ambushed on arrival. The squad scattered, but Jackson stayed behind to give his sister time to escape. Alone and with no way home, Anita put her training, extensive weapon knowledge and competitive spirit to work by joining the Apex Games. Now she fights to raise money for passage back to the IMC home base where she hopes to reunite with what remains of her family. So Bangalore entered the games as a way to earn money to get back to her family. But the story about Bangalore and her brother, and more importantly her home planet, goes deeper. Bangalore was there with Jackson as he lost his life, and as this news story explains it, it makes it seem as if Bangalore feels like she was at fault for the loss of her brother. Ultimately, with this tragic experience, Bangalore is undoubtedly hurt, but she does what she's learned to do best, put her feelings to the side and keep fighting. But occasionally we'll see slips of her character, for example in the loading screen art for Bangalore in Season 3, which reads, "Maybe Silver isn't so bad, he'd take a bullet for anyone, mostly because he's already 50 paces ahead, charging in with no game plan and even less strategy. Wit's had my back more than once, and whatever, he's gotten a chuckle out of me. Occasionally, maybe they're good for morale, I mean, I just need them to stay out of my way." So it's clear Bangalore doesn't really want to own up to how she really feels and wants to stay cold and focused on the battle, which is fair enough considering her past, her military training. She's well disciplined. However, her story is quite sad because she believes that Gridiron still is in good shape and perhaps her family is still safe. But as this news journal suggests, it may be that Gridiron no longer exists. In this paragraph it says, "Surprisingly, Sergeant Williams did tell us in an unhinged tirade that her brother was not dead. Does she know something this transcript doesn't tell us? Is the truth about Lieutenant Williams' death far more sinister? What, if anything, does Apex Legends Bangalore know about the last days of the Frontier War, after the communications blackout of 2715? Is she aware no one returned from that final battle at Gridiron? Does she know who won the war?" Because Bangalore was so involved with the IMC until the very end days of the war, there's still potential that she may know more about who won the war or what happened at the very end days, especially considering the final battle of the war seemed to have happened on Gridiron. Or perhaps she doesn't know, but maybe she'll find out in the future in some kind of lore-related event. Maybe we'll get to see more details about the war and how it ended up. Or maybe Respawn will hold on to that mystery until they're ready to reveal it through another Titanfall game in the future. For now, that's all we know about Bangalore. Guarded, but certainly one who cares about her squad, and she has an incredible talent for fighting and operating weapons. Thank you for watching my lore video on Bangalore. Make sure to stay tuned for more videos like this in the future by subscribing. I also have a gameplay channel and a Twitch if you're interested in watching me play Apex Legends. Thanks again, I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!